Hey, welcome back again, race fans. Hope you're doing fantastic, as today it is round number 2 in season number 2 of the Speed Phenom series. This afternoon, we go racing at the 2-mile California Speedway in Fontana, California. And if you remember how the SRS race went here, you should expect nothing different as we start this race today soon. Anyway, over at Daytona for round 1, it was newcomer Tim Simmons who picked up a dramatic first victory in his first Phenom start, coming all the way from the very last row on the grid. A perfect way to get our season started. Now he leads the points as we go into our second round. He'll start from the very same position he won from at Daytona, 27th. We'll just have to see if he can make it 2 in a row or if somebody else can claim victory and go California dreaming out west. So what do you say, folks? 70 laps of racing await us. Here we go. Talk about sweet serendipity for Jack Davis. Just a week ago at Daytona, he went on his roof in the closing laps. But now here at California, he gets to turn it around the best way possible, notching his first ever pole position aboard that number 02 Toyota Camry. And he'll have a shot at redemption today as we get to go racing soon. Same thing with the outside pole sitter Aiden Graham, who finished dead last out at Daytona. So both of them have great chances today. But we arrive to the scenic racetrack just under an hour's drive from Los Angeles. Davis and the other 27 drivers get to the line, and off we go here in the Golden State for the second round of the season. And around they go for the first lap. Davis is going to keep the lead in that number 02 ride. He'll try and fend off the new car of David Richardson below him, the 48. Richardson has surged up to second. He finished a strong 9th out at Daytona. He'll try and maintain that Chevy on the inside line, but that 02 is good up on the top. And Davis tries to block these guys the best he can. You see Graham in the 55. He's faded down to 5th, right behind the top 4. But Davis leads them around, and whoa, look at Hergel Alonso with the run on the outside. A great surge of speed by Hergel Alonso, and to the lead goes the number 52. Davis must have gotten a bad entry to 3 and 4, and Alonso capitalized on it. And that 52 Dodge leads the field, but now Benedict Murdo in the 44. He wants to maybe make some noise up in the top 5, but he goes too low in the corner, and Alonso gets to sail away from all of them. Alonso's doing really good in his full-time rookie campaign in SRS. He got a 6th place in the Daytona 250, and now he gets to showcase his new skills over in Phenom. But now he's on the low side, and Murdo's got the run on the top now in the 44. And he's going to take it with force and get back past Alonso. Now Davis looks to rebound and gain what he once lost. Get up to the 2nd spot. You got Derek Hamill in the 9, who had that catastrophic engine problem on the final restart at Daytona. That cost him a good finish. And up here in the top 5 is Griffin Lepo McDermott. He would have wished for a better run at Daytona, but so far he's hanging around the top 5. But it's the 44 car leading them all. And Murdo, he earned a top 5 at Daytona, but very mixed feelings as he was the one to cause that big crash with 7 laps to go that led to that 02 car flipping. So Murdo wants to get a strong run and maybe not feel as guilty about getting it, but he's got Hamill and Lepo McDermott behind him as we approach lap number 5 now. Now Murdo's got a new challenger for the lead. Here comes Angel Gutierrez in the 25 with a huge run down the front stretch. Gutierrez, the Talladega winner from last season, looks to get a taste of the lead in that 25 car and avenge for his less than desirable finish at Daytona. But Murdo's going to be tough and keep that 25 behind him. Here's a new challenger for 3rd. Here's Sarah Taylor in the 45 peak ride. Doing really good, looking really fast. It's that 45 of Sarah Taylor up into 3rd. Here's Alan Muccioli in the 28, who was a part of that wild accident at Daytona. He had Ryan Breed land right on him in the 31. And unfortunately, Muccioli was left with a DNF, but he's trying to avenge himself in that poor result, trying to get a better outcome in that Arrow ride. He'll go up into fourth ahead of Hamill and Leopold McDermott. Jack Davis, the pole sitter, he's dropped all the way back to seventh now, but he'll take that away from the 75 as they get off at two. But Murdo doing a real good job keeping all these guys behind him, and so far having a breakout performance early. And looks like Murdo was slow going into turn three. That'll give Griffin Leopold McDermott a chance to steal the top spot away, and to the top goes the 75 car. And Leopold McDermott picking up right where he left off the last time he was at California Speedway in Victory Lane. First ever Speed Racing Series win and only his third ever start. Obviously, Leopold McDermott's also famous for being the first ever winner here in this series, but he has not gone to Victory Lane since then over at Mosport last season in Canada. Now Leopold McDermott's got a nice chance to do it. We're already a seventh of the way through this race. He's got a good-sized lead over Hamill, followed by Murdo in third, then Alonso, Sarah Taylor, and Muccioli battling for fifth. Oh, one car way up high. That's the 24 of Alexander Rowe. Looks like he may be opportunistic and try and steal a few spots, but Caleb Rose came up right in front of him, and those two almost got together. Thankfully, they were able to avoid disaster, and the 24 can keep on marching forward along with the 59. Rose, he won the pole at Daytona and finished a strong third. So here's Rose up in the top 10, also looking to do good things. Well, there you see in the middle of that pack is that bright green number 97 of Tim Simmons, the grand winner out at Daytona for round one, as he got to bask in a whole lot of victory over there. And what an entrance into the Phenom Series by the newcomer out of Tennessee. But now he's got his own problems here in the middle of this pack. These guys going three wide all around him. Simmons trying to fight for a position in the top 15. He's racing around Henry Thomas, William Ayers, Nicky Martinez, Matthew Hubert, and the 97 crosses the line 17th that time by. So he has gained, or 18th, excuse me, but he has gained 9 spots since the initial green flag. Of course, there's been so much movement within this pack. I mean, a lot of these positions fluctuate lap after lap, it seems. But Simmons, he has well over 80% of this race to figure out a plan to get up in the top 10, but as long as he's on the inside, that's not going to happen. As you see Logan Williams going by him at the 7 machine. So Simmons has a lot more work to be cut out for him in the early going at California. Now, as you see, the field is much more spread out over the course of this racetrack. And Leopold McDermott still continues to show the way, but now Alan Muccioli, he's going to have a surge of speed underneath the 9 of Hamill to try and take the runner-up position. And there's the outside pole sitter of Aiden Graham. He's back now up into the 4th spot. And whoa, up ahead, the red 9 of Hamill has a big run to the outside of the 75, and to the lead he goes. And 1-2 goes both of the guys who have won both races in Phenom and SRS. They both continue to lead the way out of California. Does Muccioli maybe have a run to contest the 9 of Hamill with? Doesn't look like he'll do it that time. Or maybe I spoke too soon. The 28, here he comes. Down the inside, he won't get it at the line that time. But the full-time remaining Stormbreak Motorsports driver in SRS looking to get his shot at Phenom. But it looks like he may have to suffice and let the 9 go this time again. But there are the guys who started on the front row, back in positions 4 or 5. But Graham goes up to position number 3. He goes ahead of the 75. Here's Gutierrez in 6th. Ryan Reed, here's the first time we've seen him up in the top 10 today in 7th, or 8th, excuse me. But there is Benedict Murdo battling him for that position, along with Rowe, and also Louis Dubois in the 92. This is also his first appearance in the top 10 today as well. And now comes Aiden Graham to the outside of Muccioli. He'll go up to position number 2 to make it a 1-2 for both the red automobiles. The red Ford of Hamill, number 9. The red Dodge of Aiden Graham, number 55. And this is good for Aiden Graham, considering, as he's actually going to go for a lead of Hamill, and Hamill's going to yield for Graham, and to the lead he goes. This is actually, ironically enough, the very track where Aiden Graham debuted in an SRS. Sadly, he got caught up in an early accident and finished back in the field, but he wasn't able to pick up any ride of any kind in SRS. So at least here in Phenom, Graham can find some solace and comfort in, and he can still continue to deepen his skills and get better at racing behind the wheel. So great for that 55 car. Hopefully he'll wrap this up with a good result. Now we got Alonso up in the top 5 again. The only two Dodges in the field, the 55 and the 52, both in the top 5. So Dodge getting a real good representation up here at the front of this pack. And going way back to the tail end of the field is where you find the last car on track, Nicky Martinez in the 43, who finished a solid 4th over at Daytona in her first crack at this series. Good job to her over there, but not so much here. She's not able to translate that into a good run here so far. She's the lowest out of everybody. You also got Sarah Taylor, Will Parrish, a couple of Toyotas, and there's Daytona winner Tim Simmons. He's fallen further behind than I imagined. He's trying to pass Eric Sadler for 24th. So unfortunately, more woes are striking the 97 car today. And there's Jeff Bolton. He had a good shot at a good run at Daytona, but got turned by Benedict Murdo in that big crash. So Bolton running around 23rd. Same with Matthew Hubert, who got a less than desirable finish at Daytona. You also got David Richardson and Henry Thomas right up here, and I think Thomas lost a spot inside the top 20 by Alex Daniels. Angela DeVecchio also running up here. So from Henry Thomas on down to the final 8 cars in the running order, we are before halfway. We are guaranteed at least one pit stop during this race. So hopefully these drivers here in the bottom 8 can find something that can work and they can be able to charge forward again. Up at the front, it's still car 55 of Aiden Graham piloting the field around California Speedway. Again, I was commenting earlier about how much of a run he needs like this today, but his run at the top may be over. Griffin Lapo McDermott steals the lead back in that K&N Filters ride. And Lapo McDermott having a strong rookie season over for the Spa team in the SRS. And whoa, here comes the 92 of Dubois, surging way up to the top. Dubois trying to find all the grip on the outside line, and now car 92 goes to the point here at California. The Lake Effect Autosport driver full-time. Louis Dubois looking real competitive here in the early going. We are approaching the halfway, and it's important to know where these guys are prior to the halfway point, which will be lap 35. But if you're able to be near the front of the field, such as Dubois, Graham, Lapo McDermott, and Murdo, and all these guys, you're putting yourself in a real good spot for later, because after you make your pit stop, once you're done with that, it'll be all driver from there. So it'll be up to Dubois to make sure it's him. Take a look at this driver making his way into the top 5 for the first time. Here's Tim Fiegel, who's going to sail around Benedict Murdo to go up into P3. Nice run by the 94 Bass Pro Shops car. Fiegel started in the back of the field just like Simmons did. And now look at this. He's going to try and go 3 wide for the lead underneath Graham and Dubois. But I think he's got to back out of the gas on the inside. And yeah, Dubois will keep the momentum up top to stay in the lead. But how about Tim Fiegel with a huge charge upward from starting deep in the 20s up into the 3rd spot before the halfway point. That's very impressive for him. You also got Alexander Rowe making sure he's in a good spot for later. And also Alex Daniels, a little bit ago, we saw him trying to stay alive in the top 20. And now here he is, being scored in the 8th position last time by. Again, great showing by a lot of these young hotshots and these phenoms. I mean, we definitely emphasize the word phenom here in this series because, and oh, there's trouble behind him. A car gets hooked into the wall, and it's the 59 of Caleb Rose. A head-on crash for Caleb Rose in turn number 3. And no doubt that is going to cause the pace car to come out for the first time this afternoon on lap 32. Dubois will lead the field back to the line. And oh, what an unfortunate break for Caleb Rose, getting hooked into the wall by another competitor. And that is a lot of front-end damage onto that 59 ride. We'll have to get a replay and see how we ended up in this scenario, but Caleb Rose's day definitely just got a lot more hampered. So here comes Caleb Rose off the second corner. He was running 14th when this happened. Going into turn 3, it's either going to be William Ayers or Isaac Davis that gets into him. It's going to be Davis hooking that 59 hard head-on hit into the outside wall. And that is likely going to be day over for Caleb Rose, and that should also give damage to that 66 of Davis also. Looking at it from this angle, I believe this was just more of an accident than really anything else, because you see the 59 starts to slow up right there going into the corner, and Isaac Davis wasn't expecting him to slow down that fast. And he gets into the right rear of that 59 Chevy, turning him into the wall, and no real faults of anybody there, but still, Caleb Rose definitely isn't satisfied with that result. Same thing with Isaac Davis, as now he has significant damage onto his race car too. But again, that 59 is going to limp his way around the track and likely into the garage area for the rest of the day. And as you can expect, here comes everybody else in the field down pit road on lap 34 for what should be their only scheduled pit stop of the day. It's just one lap before the halfway mark, so it might be a little bit iffy on if these guys can go the whole way on a tank of fuel, but here they are going to try it out. And there goes the 92 of Dubois, and it looks like he will gain the lead back after pit stops, and yes, he will. Car 92 will get it with a close race for second between Fiegel and Graham. Unfortunately for Caleb Rose, it is day over for him, just like I expected, and he's going to be credited with the last place finish here this afternoon. But now with this yellow coming just before the halfway break, we're going to restart after the halfway, technically speaking. This basically provides everyone a fresh reset to the rest of this race. We're going to restart right here with Dubois out front, followed by Graham, Fiegel, Rowe, and Daniels in the top 5. Lap 37, and we are back to green once again. And it's a single file choo-choo train making their way onto the back straightaway with Dubois out front. The top 5 remaining relatively the same. Graham thought about having a run down to the inside of the 92, but the run didn't come right there. There's the black car going up high. That's Griffin Lapo McDermott going to the outside of Alex Daniels, as car 75 will take over the 5th position from car 8. And now that 8 car looks like he might get swallowed alive. He's getting sandwiched by Logan Williams and William Ayers right in between them. And now everyone is starting to spread their wings and go more on the outside of the track. Here's Ayers in the 16 making good gains. That's good for him to see. He collected a great 8th place run out of Daytona for his Phenom debut. And right up ahead, here's another 3-wide move. Fiegel comes to the inside of Graham and Dubois, but it will not work that time. And that's going to let the 92 check out a little bit. And off turn 4, the 92 is going to have a little bit of a gap, and now here comes Alexander Rowe right up into the 2nd spot. He's got a big run on the 92 now. So Rowe shooting up into 2nd. Meanwhile, Graham, Hamill, and Fiegel all contest for position number 3, but give it to the 9 of Hamill. He's going to surge ahead. Making his way up into the top 5 again is your pole sitter in the Angry Orchard car, Jack Davis, getting up into the 3rd position. He's now emerged as a contender late on this restart. He's going to try and make the pass on Rowe down to the bottom of turn number 3. They'll follow the 92, but that's not a wise choice. Rowe finds some momentum to get around Dubois, and to the lead goes the number 24 Ford of Alexander Rowe. I believe this might be his first official lap of today, and he's got Ryan Reed right with him in the 31 car. Ryan Reed, who took an unexpected flight at Daytona like Jack Davis did. He didn't fully flip all the way over, but he came very close to, and he landed right on top of Alan Muccioli in that wreck. But thankfully for Reed, he's looking to have a much brighter day here, running up in the 2nd position. Matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4 are all Ford drivers. Dubois, Fiegel, Reed, and Rowe still showing the way up in the command, but Reed may have a run up on the top here to get around the 24, and he's going to take it with him to the lead at the end of lap 42. Ryan Reed will get it done as he'll show the way in the O'Reilly car now. Well, look who's made his way back up into the top 10 again. It's Tim Simmons. He is charged up from the 17th position on this restart, and he is now fighting for a spot inside the top 10 now. That 97 crew has made some great changes onto that car. And as he zooms down the straightaway to the line. He's going to get by Aiden Graham for another position, possibly even 2. And at the line, he crosses the line 7th is Tim Simmons. And what a fantastic surge upward by your Daytona winner. And this just speaks volumes to how good of a day he might be having. And it's definitely a far cry from how he was in the first half. He had a terrible car running outside the top 20, but now since this restart, that 97 has been moving forward ever so much. He's gained 10 positions now in this restart. He'll look to gain another one as he goes by Ayers and possibly Dubois. And your Daytona winner definitely has a real shot now to make it back-to-back wins to start the season. He's up into 6th position now, and on the outside in turns 1 and 2, something is telling me that he is not done yet. And it looks like I may be right, because here's that green 97 getting ahead of Alexander Rowe to go up into the 3rd position here on lap 49. And again, I cannot say enough how impressed I am by this newcomer to learn this quickly, pick up a win in his very first outing, and he's already running in a podium position here with about 20 laps to go at California, but looking 5th. Here's that blue Chili's car of Henry Thomas. He also restarted right around where Simmons did, around 16th place. He's going to try and get underneath Muccioli for the 4th spot. It looks like Muccioli may have a better run off the corner. And yes, Muccioli up into 3rd over Simmons. He might even get Jack Davis for the 2nd position. He'll try and do the best he can right there. But talk about irony. The 2 guys who got plenty of airtime at Daytona, they are now 1-2 in this field. How magnificent is this? And ever since Ryan Reed got the lead at the end of lap 42, he has not sacrificed it yet. So that 31 Ford running real strong when he's got that clean air, and he's definitely putting it the best use he can. He's going to cut off the 02. Here's the 92 coming by. He might have a run on the 31 on the outside. He'll definitely get by Davis. Muccioli in 4th. Here's Fiegel stealing the 5th position away from Henry Thomas. There's Rowe up in 6th, Simmons in 7th, Logan Williams, Aiden Graham, and Matthew Hubert making an appearance in the top 10 as well. We now approach lap 50, side-by-side for the lead. Dubois thought he might get it, but it looks like Ryan Reed is going to deny that attempt. Looking at some of the drivers running outside the top 20, we got Eric Sadler and Alex Daniels running in the 19th position. He was restarted up in the top 5, Daniels was, but he has since slipped back a little bit. And now he's going by Benedict Murdo, who did lead several laps early on for the 18th spot, but now here comes Sadler trying to steal him of that. But you also got Hamill, who's faded down. You got Richardson, Foyles, Delvecchio, Taylor, Will Parrish running way back here in 26th. And then the last car on the lead lap, the damaged number 66 of Isaac Davis. And there is Ryan Reed clicking off lap 55. Here's Davis all the way back here going through turns 3 and 4. So unfortunately, these guys, their hopes of getting a good run are kind of slimming out. But unless another caution comes out, if they are not the caution, then they may get another break. Obviously, the workload definitely looks immense for everybody running 20th on down. And at this point, here comes Ryan Reed off of 4. We will approach 10 laps to go here at California Speedway. 20 more miles of racing left today. And it's still the Ryan Reed show up in the front. Again, that 31 car, once it's in the clean air, it is just handling like gold. And that is what Ryan Reed hopes he will still have in another 10 laps time. You see the main contenders basically have risen up here, like I mentioned. Here comes Dubois trying to disrupt the trio that's out front right now with Reed, Muccioli, and Rowe. And Rowe's going to give the bottom to the 92. But is this going to create a schism that may get some movement within this pack? It looks like it will. Here comes Rowe to the outside of Muccioli. And car 24 will now inherit the 2nd position. But still, right behind Ryan Reed. Nobody can get around him yet. Looks like the top 6 cars are within touch of this race win. Looks like Logan Williams in 7th might be a little bit too far behind. And what's this? The 31 losing momentum on the inside. Alexander Rowe trying to get a push from the lead by Louis Dubois. Down the back straightaway, 3 of the 4 drivers contesting for the lead. And the 31 will lose it. The 24 will take it. But now the 92 swinging it way wide to try and take it for himself. What an electrifying lap that was. 3 different leaders within the 2-mile span, but at the line, that is where it counts. Car 92 of Dubois will get it done as Fiegel now looks to get second from Rowe, but it looks like he's got to get it out of the gas as he'll contest with the 31 to Reed for third, but Reed will try and march his way forward, get past Alexander Rowe, and get back to the 92. Ryan Reed much closer this time to Dubois. He's just a tenth behind him. He's going to try the high line going through 1 and 2 and seeing what sticks. And it looks like it's sticking for him well. The 31 will sail around the 92 back to the lead unless Dubois can contest it, but no, the 31 has more momentum, and Ryan Reed will take the point again. We are 6.5 laps away from the checkers, but still a lot of action has yet to unfold, as you can plainly see. But look at this, we got 5 Fords in a row in the top 5. You can tell how much of a stranglehold Ford has on this race. Ryan Reed, Louis Dubois, Alexander Rowe, Tim Fiegel, Henry Thomas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes Rowe to challenge for second underneath Dubois. And this is exactly what Ryan Reed wants. If these guys battle it out, he could have a chance, but no, Dubois will use the same move that Ryan Reed used on him a lap ago to get the lead back. And he's going to try and bring Fiegel with him. And for 4th place, here comes the 28 of Muccioli, the Chevy driver, to crash the party for the Fords. Same thing with the Dodge of Hergel Alonso. He goes up into the top 5 now, and look at the run that Fiegel has over Dubois. And down the front straightaway, Fiegel is going to get the lead as we now have 5 laps to go at California Speedway. What a great move by Fiegel to steal the lead from those drivers. And hey, we're at 5 laps to go now. We may as well take you to the rest of the way to the finish, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can very well imagine, a lot can happen between now and lap number 70. But little has changed him on the top 5. Dubois is behind Fiegel, followed by Reed, Rowe, then Alonso. Then he got Muccioli, Thomas, Davis, Bolton, and Logan Williams, who's going to swing it to the outside. He's the only one of the top 10 who I see doing so. Good move by Williams. Hold on a second. The 38 is pitting. Jeff Bolton heading for pit road with 5 to go. Could fuel be an issue here in the dying laps of this race at California? Jeff Bolton cannot go the rest of the way, and nobody else has joined him. Major concerns for Jeff Bolton, and this is also concerning for everybody else who has the fuel to go the distance. And man, oh man, I feel uneasy about these guys in the top 5. They got to burn all the fuel to stay up front. But how long can they last? How long can everybody else last? Here goes Hubert in the 23 to the outside. He's going to try and make some moves here in the purple 23. And there's more guys pitting. Logan Williams, Angel Gutierrez. They've come up short. Same thing with Willie Ayers in the 16. That's 3 more victims of fuel mileage here at California Speedway. Here's Bolton coming back onto the track. Fiegel still leads. 3 laps to go. Alexander Rowe and Louis Dubois hot on his bumper, trying to figure out who's going to be able to go around him. On the concerns for fuel, they got to be in the back of everybody's minds here as Ryan Reed tries to go for a 3-wide move, but that's not going to work. The inside line's been weak all day, and there goes Dubois going to the very top of the track to take the lead with 2 laps to go at the line. And across the line he goes 2 more times around California for Louis Dubois. He's opened it up to several car lengths ahead of Tim Fiegel. And there is Bolton ahead of him. But here's the other 3 guys coming off pit road. Ayers, Gutierrez, and Williams. Here comes the pack off of turn 2 right towards them. Oh, this is going to be real interesting, folks, as they come back onto the track. How much of a hindrance will they be to Dubois and the rest of the leaders? There goes Dubois to the outside of Ayers. He's actually going to use him as a pick to try and stay ahead of the 94. And through turn 4, it looks like all these guys are going to stay out and try and risk it for the biscuit. To the white flag. Here comes the 92 of Dubois. He takes it as he tries to get a draft off Gutierrez down the front straightaway. Into turn 1. Dubois still behind the 25, but he's not able to get around him yet. Look at the 94 Fiegel swinging for the fences to the outside of Dubois, getting out of the backstretch. The 25 pulls up in front of them though. Side by side for the win are the 2 Fords. Fiegel gets ahead, but where will he go? Inside, outside, he's going to choose the top. around the outside of Gutierrez, and I think this is going to take him home. Here comes the Wisconsin native off the final turn. It'll be another Tim going to victory lane, but this time it's Tim Fiegel. He takes the victory for round number 2 here at California. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he started all the way back in 26th for this race. A masterful job by Tim Fiegel in his second Phenom start, using a clutch last lap pass around the outside of Louis Dubois, as well as on the lap cars, to take his first ever victory here in the Speed Phenom Series this afternoon. And what a thrilling way for him to get the job done in front of these fans here in Fontana, California. That was a finish for him to deliver. And with his career only being 2 races old in this series, what a veteran-like way he earned this win today. And again, like I mentioned, he came from deep in the field on the starting grid to win this race, but he methodically played his cards right. Him and his team, they adjusted his car well after pit stops. And that 94 car is going to drive into victory lane right there. You see the black and white checkerboard in victory lane, not too far from where he's pitted. But the irony is definitely not lost. We have 2 drivers named Tim winning the first 2 rounds of the season. Tim Simmons wins at Daytona. Tim Fiegel here today in California. Both of them starting outside the top 25 even. But I guarantee you he's going to be one happy gentleman as he climbs from the window and he gets sprayed with that champagne, knowing that this is a first victory that he's never going to forget. And now for your top 10. Tim Fiegel scores career win number 1. Unfortunately, Louis Dubois gets denied that. He comes home in second. A great comeback for Matthew Hubert in third. Ryan Reed, after leading lots of laps, he comes home in fourth. And a top 5 for Hergel Alonso in fifth. 6th for Alexander Rowe. 7th for Alan Muccioli. 8th for your outside pole sitter, Aiden Graham. 9th for Henry Thomas. And completing the top 10 is the 9 of Derek Hamill. And as we bring our broadcast to an end, I definitely hope you fans got all the enjoyment you could after watching that one. I am so glad that we've gotten to have 2 fantastic races to open up this second season of the Phenom Series. And I do hope you're able to join us for the 3rd round as we get to stay out in California, but we go over to the road course of Willow Springs International Raceway. We'll see how these drivers do as they get to go left and right for the first time on the schedule. So be sure and catch that race when it comes your way. Here come your remaining race results and your points following round number 2. Again, one last congratulations to Tim Fiegel on achieving his first ever win. And we'll look forward to seeing you again on the road course at Willow Springs.